I'm opening up this chart here so you guys can see and I can explain this to you. Now, I've seen countless people over the years try to discuss Daniel and his prophecy and everything surrounding it. I mean, the years fluctuate anywhere from, 33 AD to -5 BCE. It's almost kind of comical in a way how many different opinions and how many different views people have out there. So I kind of wanted to show you this and explain how I see it. I wanted to show you that Common Era 29 was the only year that qualified to be Yahusha's ministry, and how he made it all the way to Common Era 30 in his ascension on the 14th of May on our Gregorian calendar as we know it. So over here off to the top left, you're going to see how the dawn day start begins for the calendar of Melchizedec. And then of course you have the Jewish lunar calendar beginning at Rev in the evening, and then the Roman calendar starting at midnight, which of course we still use today. And I have other charts I can pull out as well. I'm gonna back all this up. I mean, I got it. The scriptures fit this perfectly. And once you fully understand all this information that I'm trying to show you, hopefully a few of you out there the light bulb will come on and you'll see another view that is probably, I would say in my opinion, the most accurate view. So I'll start up here at the top in the center, 323 of Common Era 29. That would have been the day after the vernal equinox on the calendar of Melchizedek, which both John the Baptist and Yahusha used in their ministries. So I'm going to start here at month 1, and that goes all the way to 323. Next year, that's one full year. That would be the 49th year in the Jubilee cycle. And you'll see in the middle of the year, in the 7th month, how the 50th year in the Jubilee cycles work. So in the 49th year, you hit Rosh Hashanah. It's usually when kings are crowned. It goes all the way into the next year of Common Era 30. And Yahusha died on the 5th day of April in Common Era 30. That would be the 14th day from 323. So 323 would be the first day of summer, and the vernal equinox on 322 would be the last day of winter, if you follow me. So 323, count 14 days, you get to 4-5, which was on a Wednesday, and that's when Yahusha was crucified. And then of course 3 days later, on the Saturday Shabbat, is when he rose. And if you don't believe me, look at Matthew 27, chapter 27, verse 52 and 53. And then you can also even look at 1 Corinthians 15, verses 20 to 23, if you like. He did not raise on a Sunday. In fact, he had risen about 72 hours from the crucifixion, according to all gospel accounts, which would have been around 3 p.m. or the 9th hour on the Shabbat. He would have had 15 hours to witness, and of course he rested from his work. The dead who were asleep, the graves broke open. They arose from their graves and walked about the whole holy city, according to Matthew 27. And that's when everything was set straight. And that would have actually been the 80th Jubilee this year. From 29 to 30. That 7th month to the next 7th month, Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah, was the 50th year. Then the sabbatical will end, and then they could sow and harvest over here in the next year during the month of Abib. You'll see also right here, you'll see a 5/17/29, and then you count 490 days, you get to 9/19. That's when Rosh Hashanah begins on the calendar of Melchizedec, and that's your 490 days from the time John the Baptist was thrown into prison. He was not able to preach anymore, baptize, so that's when Yahushua took up the kingdom message and began to preach, baptize, teach, do miracles, everything. And he fulfilled the favorable year of Adonai, the favorable year of the Lord, or of Adonai, I should say. I'm trying not to use the word Lord anymore. Actually being out on 5/14 and 29. And it ended 40 days after the cross on 5/14 of Common Era 30. That's when the Ascension happened. 128 days later would be September 19th, as we know it, in the year Common Era 30. And then we go down to the next line. So day 55 from the vernal equinox. You see a 5/17. This is when the 70 weeks began. Then you go 70 days, and then another 70 days. 70. You'll see how it goes here. Here's the first period of 70, second period of 70, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and of course the 7th. And I even wrote in the dates for you when they fall on the covenant calendar, or the calendar of Melchizedec. And then the weeks for a score, so you got 10 weeks of 7. So there's 1 score, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 score. I think that might have also been kind of unnecessary, but I wanted to point out that he was actually cut off here in the midst of the week, here in the midst of the week, and then here in the literal 7-day midst of the week. So it's like a triple witness, if you will. And then 1 score of weeks: 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 48, 56, 63. The 70 days would be one period right up here. So this actually fits in here. And this is one of these, basically. I hope that makes sense to you. And then I also have day 180. I don't remember what I put that down as. Yeah, that would have been 180 days from here to here, I think I was going for. Or no, that would have actually been the 180th day in the year of Common Era 30 of Rosh Hashanah. That's what I was going for. First day of the 7th month. I was just basically giving you a day count. So yeah, that way you can see how all this works. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. All I know is everything that the Yahudim, the Jews, do is completely backwards from what the Torah prescribes. Now, those are fighting words, I know. But once you learn that from evening in the morning, or the first day, he was just talking about the light cycle of the day. This was the first day. And then the second day begins again over here with the mixture. Pretend this line goes up, and this is dark, and it's coming to morning. And it comes up again. And here's the evening, like midnight up here again. Whoops. So in the morning, in the evening, or the first day. I know the Bible says it backwards, but you have to hit the end in order to complete the day. So you say that first, and then the morning was the first day. You go through and complete the day cycle again, and then evening, and the day, or in the morning, or the second day, so on, all the way across your 6 days of creation. And I also might add too that for some reason, which is beyond me, I don't understand why the Jews, I know they call the 7th month the head of the year, but then they also start to begin their date here. You follow? So if creation started on the first month, I mean, the sun and the moon weren't even created until the 4th day. So it was actually the light of Yahuwah, the light of the world, that began the first day, until he created basically the sun and the moon and the Mazzaroth, all the constellations, the timepiece that he uses. In order to justify the year. So why would the year start way over here in the 7th month, and when it would start, it should start right here on when the earth was void and light was created, right? This is where it starts in the first. So you get 12 full months. That equals the year, and back then it was actually 360 days before Hezekiah's sundial incident, right? When he turned back the dial a little bit. I think it was 10 degrees. I think that's how we get our extra 5.25 days now. And that would come into play during the Second Temple period, and which everything was prophesied about. And when 4-5 in Common Era 30, April 5th, which would be the 14th day, or the Passover on the Melchizedec calendar. the Holy of Holies was anointed directly underneath the cross, or this. From what I understand now, it's not even a cross. It was a wooden tree, a tree that Yahusha was hung on, and the blood and the water ran down into the crack underneath the stake, or the tree, I should say. Ran down the blood and the water, and it anointed the Holy of Holies of the Ark of the Covenant. And then the Ark of the Covenant, the blood and the water are the witnesses of Yahuwah's son, Yahusha. This was what Daniel was talking about. He wasn't talking about the Antichrist. Daniel's prophecy was never about that. It was talking about Yahusha's atonement for sin to bring in everlasting righteousness. And it was about Titus coming later to destroy the temple, to end the oblation, the sacrificial system. And what I also believe too is the abomination that caused desolation was in fact the supposed virgin cow that gave birth to a lamb. And that's what they used to sacrifice right before everything was destroyed. And even the Shekinah glory was removed. This is all according to Josephus. And there's a fella named Stephen Rood. He's got a timeline about this that I highly suggest you look at. But all this is kind of what I've found when I come in to do the other charts. I'll go into even greater detail about how all of this fits. Even Noah's account actually fits Yahusha's ministry of a year, from the time he got on the boat, the rain, all of that. But just wanted to say, I don't want to argue about anything. Hopefully you guys find this information useful in your journey, and I just want to say go ahead and use it for whatever you need. And 3 cool 2 beings 1.